Hi, I'm Daryn Smit, Head of Talent Pathway at Derbyshire County Cricket Club. Yeah, it's been really exciting. I've been really impressed with what I've seen today. Very privileged to be invited here and work with some really exciting young talent. I think programs like these are vital, and certainly what I've seen today, it can't do anything but develop young talent. So for me, that's a massive positive. And we obviously have a lot of trials, and unfortunately there's a lot of player movement sometimes when they release from county level. But at the moment there's not a lot of structures where players can go from county cricket that can bridge the gap between county and club. So programs like this for me are absolutely pivotal to helping players develop and get the kind of contact time, facilities, coaching that they don't necessarily get if they just go from county back to their clubs. So really impressed with what I've seen today, and no doubt that all of these boys here will be developing in time. Yeah, I mean, I've seen everything today. I've seen batting, I've seen bowling, I've seen spin bowling, I've seen some fantastic spin bowling, I've seen some youngsters, 10, 11 years old, who are absolutely passionate. I've seen boys probably younger than that at 6 and 7 who, just look like they live and breathe their cricket. So, for me, there's a couple aspects. So yes, there's the technical coaching that's going on, which is brilliant to see, but there's the enjoyment. That's what brings players back week after week and keeps them wanting to improve and be engaged in the game. But tactical awareness for me is really important, and that's a very big challenge for us in this country where a lot of our training is done indoors through the winter. So having those conversations, setting up scenarios, gameplay environments is absolutely brilliant, and all of that's been covered yet today. So with my coach's hat on, I think it's been a fantastic session all round. Yeah, I think those fixtures are important. They're important for us because it also gives us exposure to players who are just under county level. And often we run our trials and you see players at trials, but it's always a trial in an indoor artificial environment. So to be able to see players that are just under county level but perform against county quality opposition, but in a match play environment, is absolutely vital for me. So, it's beneficial for both parties. I'd like to think that all counties would see the benefit in that, and that's certainly something that for us at Derbyshire we'll be continuing for the foreseeable future. So I don't think there's many programs that run like this that sit just under county programs. So for me this is vital. So the contact between myself and the staff here, to be able to view players, to be seeing them training, improving. If they are released from our county, we can offer them the opportunity to come and train here with ICM to help their development, because it's hard for cricket clubs. They don't necessarily have the facilities, the coaches to be able to put these programs on through the winter that help players develop at the same rate as if they are in these sort of environments. Well, I mean, I think I've said it to the players now, is they're exposed to great coaches here. So be a sponge, take on as much as they can from all of the coaches, but most importantly is don't just listen to the coaches here and then go into a different environment and forget what you've worked on. The exposure to some great coaching here in this facility is brilliant, but it's got to be sustainable. It's got to be session in and session out. It can't just be here when the coaches are telling you that. You've got to create good habits, train those good habits, and those good habits then transfer into matches. Yeah, I think the knowledge from coaches who have played international cricket is vastly important, but also in an environment like this, and I see it at Derbyshire, when players are hearing the same thing from the same coaches week in and week out, they don't necessarily pay as much attention to it as if there's a new voice coming into the environment where the players are not necessarily used to them being there. So it's a new voice. They might be sharing the same message, but it's coming from someone who might have international experience, who might carry a little bit more regard with their peers, and it's a new voice coming in and sharing the same ideas. Hopefully that lands a little bit better with the players. So it really is valuable. Personally, I would steer away from going too heavy technical, and it's a lot more, it's tactical for me, it's gameplay, it's awareness, and ultimately it's about filling players with confidence and belief. That is your job, as coaches, is to fill players with confidence, belief, and motivate them. Of course there's the aspect of the technical side of the game, because you want players to be able to succeed when their techniques are put under pressure. But I think sometimes particularly in our environments here in England, where we're exposed to net all the time, we actually create good trainers, but not necessarily good game players. I think contact time is massively important, and more players train. As long as they're training in the right environment and they're training the right things, they will get better. There's no doubt about it. And in this environment here, with exposure to these coaches, training at the right intensity, players are always going to develop and get better, and that's exactly what this program's offering. Yeah, I think you've got to be passionate about what you do, and I've chatted to a few of the boys today about their specific skill sets and what they do, and you have to have a passion for it, because well, we've just spoken to the boys now about facing adversity, those tough challenges, non-selection, etc., etc. And if you've got a passion for something, when you do face tough times or you struggle, you go through a dip in form, maybe you don't get selected, if you're passionate about something and you really live it, breathe it, love what you do, it keeps you motivated to keep coming back for more, not only when the things are going well and times are good. So, you know, trust their love for the game, trust their passions, and their instincts to just keep developing and wanting to grow that game and do what they love. Absolutely, yeah. I think we've done it for the last few seasons. Yeah, I'll be chatting to Keevan, and we'll be getting some fixtures in for next season again. Yeah, it's been really good. You know, there's some good players who we play against, some boys who are already involved in other county setups, but there's some boys who are just underneath there. So the standard of the game has been good, and I think it's been beneficial for both parties, so that's what we want.